Hi, my name is Claudia, and I'm a teacher at Scrambled Eggs. Well, I actually moved to Italy 4 years ago, and I studied fashion in Florence. And while I was studying there, I also started teaching English. And so I decided that I wanted to continue, but just moved to Milan. The thing I love most about teaching is I feel it's one of the most selfless jobs there is. It's about giving part of your knowledge for someone else's growth. And I found that while I was actually teaching, when I was teaching these last 4 years. And then I also just got really close to my students. And I just had so much fun while teaching that I knew that this was a job I wanted to continue to do. So I was born in Mississauga. It's a small, actually no, it's actually pretty big, a big city next to Toronto in Canada. And yes, so those typical high school TV series that you watch in the suburbs is basically what I lived there in Mississauga. It's a typical, it was in a suburban area. And yes, I lived kind of the North American dream. So from Canada, I would have to say the chocolate glazed donuts from Tim Hortons. But my family is Portuguese as well. So I had a lot of Portuguese dishes growing up. And the most famous one we have in Portugal is with codfish because we have over 100 recipes with it. But out of all of them, I would have to say the one bacalhau à brás, which is codfish with basically French fries in the oven. And yes, that's absolutely my favorite. My mom does it the best. So my favorite TV series was Suits in the past. And my favorite fictional character from that TV series would have to be Mike, for many reasons. First, he's extremely smart and he doesn't have to try. So I envy that. He basically doesn't need to study. The second part is the fact that he's actually kind of funny. He has, that kind of that dad humor in a way, but also with a very kind of smart humor at the same time. And he's really easygoing as well, and I appreciate that. And I think the last characteristic from him that I loved watching was he really cared about his clients, and I think that's really important when you're working. So this is actually pretty funny because when I was younger, I told everyone that I wanted to be something different every day. So on Mondays, I would be a doctor. Tuesdays, I would be a teacher. Wednesdays, I was a lawyer. And people would try to explain to me that that wasn't possible. But till today, I still believe that that's not true. And I guess, teaching kind of helps that. It's not that I'm multiple people at the same time or I have multiple jobs, but I get to deal with people from different areas. So I kind of get to live that dream. So growing up, I was definitely physically and emotionally very similar to my dad. But as I get older, I'm becoming closer to my mom, I'd say. My most treasured possession would have to be my straightening iron for my hair. I have naturally curly hair, but I never liked it growing up. So it's definitely something that I use every day. And yes, it would be a surprise if you see me with curly hair at work. And if you do, it's because I had a really rough morning.